Plus for genuine information.
Namaste and welcome to our special interview segment. Today we have the distinct honor of hosting His Excellency Abrar H. Hashmi, the Pakistani ambassador to Nepal, as we explore the multifaceted relationship between Pakistan and Nepal. We will delve into various aspects of diplomacy, trade, culture, and education that bind our two nations together. Pakistan and Nepal share a history of cordial relations rooted in mutual respect and cooperations. Over the years, this relationship has grown stronger, encompassing numerous areas of collaborations, from trade partnerships to cultural exchange and educational initiatives to regional cooperations. The ties between our countries have evolved, reflecting a deep-seated commitment to shared prosperity and peace. State of Pakistan to Nepal relations. Explore the opportunities and challenges ahead and gain insights into Ambassador Hashmi's visions for the future of our bilateral cooperations. We'll also touch upon the important role of education in fostering mutual understanding and in strengthening diplomatic bonds. So without further ado, let's welcome Abrar Hashmi, Pakistani ambassador to Nepal.
Info Plus for genuine information.
Your Excellency, Namaste and Assalamualaikum. Welcome to the show Info Plus Himalayan Television. It's been 16 months that you are here in Nepal as an ambassador. So how has been your experience so far as the Pakistan ambassador to Nepal?
Thank you, Rebecca, and thanks for Himalaya TV for coming to my office. It's an honor to be here representing Pakistan in Nepal. Nepal is an important regional partner, and I think Nepal has a very unique culture, heritage, beauty of the landscape, and I think it's all in one for all those who want to see. And as an ambassador, I would say that it is a cutout for me. All the things, there are no frictions between the two countries. And this is a big blessing for any ambassador managing relations. And I think I'm so happy to be amongst the most hospitable people. And I come from also a region which is in the southern Himalaya. And I think I'm more at home.
You have 26 years experience in government service and have served in Western countries like USA, Canada, and also in India as a neighbor country. You have also experienced in managing conflict after you took position in Kashmir. How do you see Nepal from your eyes after having diverse experience in diplomatic career?
Rebecca, this is interesting that I have served in the region and also in countries like Beirut, in Lebanon, where it was my first posting. I've seen the conflict from a very close, I would say, observation. I think Nepal has managed it so well in being located in this region, its strategic location, and you have traversed this relationship so well. And I think that Pakistan has always, and that's the statement, that we've always sided whatever systems Nepalese people have chosen, whether it was a kingdom. Pakistan had excellent relations, and I commend the transition which Nepal has taken to democracy and inclusiveness which you are trying to achieve. This is marvelous, and Pakistan has always supported whatever system the people of Nepal has taken, and we have always been friends, whether these were the sages who have traversed the heights and the mountains and the valleys. We have a civilizational linkages. In fact, our relations date back to millennia, where people have come and traversed these mountains and also given and taken the knowledge. They've shared the heritage. And I think in that mooring, it is very, very interesting for any diplomat And it is, again, as I said, one of those relationship where I don't have to waste time in managing any conflicts, but we are deepening the relations further and bringing new vistas. For example, the new frontiers have been pushed by IT and IT-enabled services. So even if you're not neighbors, and youthful population of both the countries can benefit and push this frontier further for their own benefit and the benefit of the people.
As an ambassador to Nepal, what personal goals do you have during your tenure here in Nepal?
This is we have excellent trust. That relationship is very good. We have fraternal relationship. I'll keep that deepened further, expanded in new vistas. And I think my personal focus as a diplomat would also be on working for mitigating the impacts and effects of climate change. And we're trying to mainstream it in our relationship. And the second I just mentioned is the trade, which is enabled by IT. I think a digital transformation, which is taking place. That's my second one. Third is that all those mechanisms which we have over time signed between the two countries, let's utilize them and expand them and hold their meetings regularly so that it's a multifaceted relationship, not just relationship where we have traditional things we want to bring. So my focus would be on e-commerce, trade in services, more travel and trade, and more exchanges in our splendid heritage, and also some kind of joint ventures where we, after all, both the countries are unique in one sense that we share the 14 8,000ers in the world. Now, 8 are in Nepal, and rest of 5 are in Pakistan. And we have, I think, recently issued visas to almost 80 Nepalese who are going and assisting the mountaineers in Pakistan. So we have this relationship which we want to bring to new areas. And as I mentioned, and perhaps one is, we'll continue with the skill impartation, education, the technical part. And there's a long menu, but we'll keep it here.
Pakistan and Nepal has been a very good neighbor since 64 years and has maintained a very good relationship since then. Being a developing countries and mostly in a state of political stability, what are the major hindrances for the development related to Nepal?
I think for any choices or preferences Nepal or Nepali people may make, I'll not comment on it, the trajectory they've taken. But I can say that Nepal has improved a lot over last few years in health, in education, in infrastructure, and I think also opening up to the world. And it's benefiting the people, especially youth, is benefiting from it. And there's a hope that tourism is, I think, one of the sectors where there's a lot of scope and it is catching up. And we have seen, we were in a retreat recently, thanks to Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nepal, and Foreign Secretary herself was with us, with all of us, the heads of mission and ambassadors. We have seen firsthand that Nepal is serious on it, and it's a unique tapestry because you have the nature, the heritage and traditions and this landscape together make it a very good mix. So I think in that sense, Nepal is making good strides, and in development challenges, I think we have common challenges, but this is one area where Nepal has done very well. But what preferences they would like to take, I'll not comment on it.
Mostly youth in Nepal and a large number from Pakistan are going abroad for the further studies and not coming back to their native land. How do you see the possibility where Pakistan and Nepal can work jointly to make a better Asia in coming days?
I think migration happens because of the demand factor, and there are some issues at our homes, which is the supply side, but it's not all that bad. Why it's not all that bad is, if the countries, developing countries, in this case maybe I say Pakistan or Nepal, if we are not able to give them that much employment or of the level they would like, they will immigrate because there is a market for it. And once they go and they learn those skills, high skills, they bring a lot of it back at home. If I go and I see in Nepal, I'll see, for example, a lot of international imprints, even in restaurants and people's living style. I don't know where from this shisha has come, for example. Every restaurant, even on a mountaintop, is keeping it. I understand it's one of the things which maybe from Middle East, a lot of people are traveling, they brought a lot of things which they have brought from other sites. So it is not all that bad. However, we need to regulate it in a way that the demand is met of those countries which are targeted countries where our people go. And we as diplomats need to ensure that we have a system of welfare and legal cover. And that's where I think diplomacy needs to work, that we need to have agreements and we need to ensure the legal protections, welfare of our workers overseas, and lastly, most important, then create that stream that they come back and they have an environment, conducive environment to invest and live. So I think this is not all that bad. Initially we feel that we have a brain drain, but since we have a lot of numbers, good numbers, still a lot of good brains stay back. So for our development, it's not that much a challenge. I would say, I think in these international discourses, people often say it's a brain drain, but then it is also a brain gain because they come and they get trained and they come back, most of it, and there's a model in our neighborhood.
What facilities and support do you think we should give to the youth to stay back in their country?
One is, I think, the living standards. If we have good living standards, they're aspiring for it. It's in global village now. They see it. International media is such that they get influenced. They want to go and they want to push the frontiers, and they want to go to other countries and they live and explore. And also, I think we at home need to create that social protections. We also need to have a pull factor. They come back. Family is one pull factor of always, and the culture is another one. And we live it in a way that it also fascinates the youth through education, through skill impartation, through those programs where we can create enough jobs like industry, like services, like those sectors in specialization. If we are able to build on our relative advantages, for example, Nepal has a relative advantage if it can attract a lot of people in tourism, in a very niche tourism. If I may call it in a cultural tourism, and that can be a good mix. There could be some other areas where you can put it together. For example, I've seen once I was in the countries of ASEAN, a lot of Nepalese working there, and they were in the security sector, security guards. That's one way of working it. You build on your specializations. That's one way of doing it.
Nepal and Pakistan is also a member of SHARC, and we share a very good bond altogether. What is your view on that?
In fact, Nepal is hosting the Secretariat of SARC, and it is the current chair for a long time because the summit couldn't take place. It has come a long way. It has carved its identity. SARC region has already carved it. There are these regional bodies, institution. For example, there's an energy center in Islamabad, and there are other standard agencies which are hosted in Nepal, in Bangladesh, in India, and all the member countries. So it has come a long way. The need is that its processes, the governance process, it all gets the way it has been till 2014, and Pakistan would be the next chair, and we are ready to host anytime. And we are thankful to Nepal for its continued support and chairmanship and stewardship to this important organization. And I think people realize that SARC has come a long way in last almost 4 decades. It has brought forward a lot of improvements, and we can build on that.
Pakistan has been offering scholarship to many students and providing training to Nepali students. As Nepali youth are going abroad for their further studies, how could we educate those students about the education, opportunity, actions, knowledge sharing, etc. available in Pakistan?
Again, a very good question. I think Pakistan and Nepal have contributed in a way that I see that there are over 7,000 Nepalese who have been to Pakistan. They are contributing to the development and technical uplifting in those areas, for example, which is health, education, even in hydropower and all that. They have come after getting education in Pakistan. It continues. Pakistan even today offers a good number of fully funded scholarships, and we do have other programs wherein under Colombo plan, bilaterally, and a lot of students who go to Pakistan on self-finance basis, because they find that value, compatibility, and very close cultural affinity and a welcoming people. And I'm happy to tell you that I have come across at least 5-6 such couples who are married from Pakistan, and one of the partners. So this is an abiding bridge wherein people are not only going for education, they are adopting the culture of each other, and that is actually one of the biggest things and hopes, that these alumni, they continue. And we've now organized an alumni which is K2 Everest Association, as you would come across, and they often meet in Kathmandu and in the smaller chapters and places. I was down in Bharatpur and Chitwan, and I came across almost 10 such alumni members who got together, and we sat and we ate a dinner. And that's, I think that thing is still there. There's a lot of hope, and to bring it further, I think we need to exhibit the prowess of Pakistani universities, and we are making an effort. In fact, we were to have an education fair like Australia does and some other countries too. In Nepal, in Kathmandu, we have done recently one in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, and I think that is coming to Nepal, and this will also open up the information avenue for the Nepalese students and parents, especially those who want to go. And Pakistan is, trust me, one of the countries where they will go, and few will keep them, but most of them will come back and contribute.
What are the major challenges facing Pakistan to Nepal relation today, and what opportunities do you see for strengthening the diplomatic ties between two nations?
Okay, I think one of the major challenge which I face is, or in general we all face, is missing direct air link. Because without a direct air link and more people-to-people contact, travel, tourism, and such things like education and other things would become difficult. So that's a challenge. Secondly, it's a very rapidly changing world. There are so many things which are changing, and if we do not keep up with those, we will be left behind. And at the same time, the traditional ways of diplomacy, which is based on our understandings, we have agreements, we have MOUs, we have, why I'm saying again, because we need to have a multi-faceted relationship from agriculture, energy, education, the new areas of IT-enabled services, digital transformation. These all things will need us to be constantly meeting each other, constantly talking to each other, not just at the leadership level. We need to talk at the parliamentary level, we need to talk at the civil society, we need to talk amongst the professionals, we need to talk, for example, between the youth and between media persons and intellectuals, and even those who are dealing with issues of culture and cultural heritage. We need to promote, and tourism. These all areas would need us to be talking more often. I won't say it's a challenge, but it is one of the requirements that we need to get into that mode where we often meet each other and at all levels, and practitioners, policymakers, those who meet, and they also educate each other with this fast changing pace of this world. That's, I think, the opportunity and the way forward.
A lot of issues happening in Pakistan have been manifested through the eyes of India or Western countries to rest of the world, whereas Pakistan has been doing good to make better Pakistan. Would you like to say something on this regard?
There is a huge issue which is called an image problem, image perception. And there are, you're absolutely right, you've insinuated to it. We have one recent example of EU Disinfo Lab, where 256 plus fake sites were spewing out all those disinformation, misinformation about Pakistan in Western countries. And unfortunately, that was affecting us negatively. And that has been caught, and you're very well aware, you can Google it, I'll not give you most of these details. But Pakistan of today has really moved to, in our efforts of economic growth are working well. We have difficulties, but they have worked very well over time. We request and we know that most of the Nepalese friends, they have a very balanced view. They watch Pakistani dramas, they know that what's going on in our society. We are near neighbors, if not the neighbors, we are near neighbors. And we have fought for peace and stability in the region. We have been sacrificing for that long in our neighborhood. In Afghanistan, situation wasn't good. And now that it has, and we, in fact, not just regional level, we have globally contributed. And in that, again, we are partners. Nepal and Pakistan are close partners, because in UN, you see in UN peacekeeping, we are the leading troop contributors. While we were fighting at home, we also continued the efforts in regional peace. We have, in fact, almost defeated the terrorism which was emanating and which was added from outside. I fully will ascribe one thing, that we need to engage with media more, and it is one of the examples. We are sitting here, and I request, and through your media houses, we request that go to Pakistan, see it for yourself. You'll find a very hospitable, welcoming, peaceful, thriving country, and a welcoming country.
It's a common challenge all over the world, the climate change and global issues. What is your views on that, Your Excellency?
I think we both in Pakistan and Nepal are vulnerable to climate change. And also, one of the other facets of climate change, we have ecologically very fragile regions of Himalaya, Hindu Kush, and we also have Karakoram. I think we need to do certain actions right now to preserve our biodiversity. That's also in danger, because our region is ecologically very, very fragile. And again, Nepal has an edge, because you have EC Mode's headquarter and repository here in Kathmandu, and I think we can build on it. And we are already discussing amongst ourselves at the leadership level. We have mentioned this. We were at COP27 and COP28 now. At 27, as you must be aware, that Pakistan spearheaded a loss and I would say a fund which is being spearheaded by Pakistan, because we had come out from a very devastating floods in 2022. As you remember, 33 million people were impacted. So we, in this fragile region, we live here, and especially in the Himalayan region and Hindu Kush, we have another issue, and that is of the melting of permafrost and the glaciers, and it would be a permanent loss. No other nation or no other nations should be more worried about climatic change and its impact than Nepal and Pakistan. And this is high time that we start conversing on bilateral level and also sync our positions at the global level.
Pakistan and Nepal being a neighboring country, do you have any initiatives or ties in coming days to collaborate on this issue?
We are already discussing, as I just said, we are already, and also we have taken positions at a global level, especially at the UN, where we have almost identical positions on it. And there is a need for the developed world to take that commitment to a level where we implement. Because if a loss has taken place in the Himalayan region, we will not be able to, for example, if once we have some loss on a mountaintop, there is no way in the world that we can put back those fauna and flora back on those mountains, on those valleys. So this is the time that we act, and Nepal is doing very well, especially in conserving the forests. You can lead the way because in C2 emissions, it's one of the requirement that we mitigate our emissions to a level. I think Nepal is at almost a zero level. So that's a very good example of forestation with traditions, because it's a tradition of people, and I think that's what Nepal can also market. That look, we are doing it, you can also do. And some other countries in our region, Bhutan is another one. Pakistan and northern regions, we have reforested huge tracts of place. So these are good examples, and we can build on it.
Finally, what message would you like to convey to the people of Nepal as an ambassador to Nepal?
Okay, I think we are very traditional people on both sides, and I'm so pleased to see that youth, and especially women in Nepal, we can learn a lot. They're working shoulder to shoulder and sometimes above shoulder alongside men, and it is a very good example. Continue with it, and also I would say that I send a message of friendship, trust, respect, and continued support for Nepal's whatever in a modest way we can provide development needs. And at the same time, I would say to the youth, go out. I think there's no limit. You can push the horizon, you can push the limits, you could push the frontiers. Go, and this world is borderless in a way, because you have come at a stage, at an age where things are a lot easier than our forefathers. And that's my message, that enjoy it, but at the same time, come to Pakistan. You will find a lot of commonalities and respect and hospitality.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time. It's been a great pleasure to discuss about the growing and strong relationship between Pakistan and Nepal.
Thanks a lot.
Info Plus, for genuine information.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Abrar Hashmi, for sharing your valuable insight with us today. It has been an enlightening discussion highlighting the robust and dynamic relationship between Pakistan and Nepal. We have learned about the various initiatives and collaborations that are strengthening our bilateral ties, from trade and economic partnerships to educational actions and culture programs. Your visions for the future of Pakistan to Nepal relations is inspiring, and it's clear that there are many opportunities ahead for our countries to work together towards mutual growth and prosperity. We also appreciate your personal reflections on the role of education in fostering diplomatic relations and the importance of continued efforts in this area. Thank you once again for your time and for your dedication to enhancing the friendship between our nations. We look forward to seeing the positive development in Pakistan-Nepal relations in the coming years. Thank you all for joining us in this special interview, and also thank you to all our crew members. Stay tuned for a more interesting episode. Namaste.
Info Plus, for genuine information.